So this is the book club, but how about a trip to the movies? This is My Zombie Sweetheart. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson, and this is a place where normally I talk to you about Stephen King, but in this spin-off series I talk to you about great books. Yes, this is my book club, where I talk to you about books that I've read recently that I think you will enjoy too. And in each episode I give you a synopsis of the book in question, I give you a bit about the author, I give you a spoiler-free review, and I try and align the book to a Stephen King book to keep it all on brand with the rest of my channel and to help give you that point of reference to decide whether you should go and check out this book that I'm evangelizing to you and read it to yourself. And hey, if you do go and read it yourself, don't forget to leave a review and rating on Goodreads and Amazon and Storygraph and all those places. And if you really like it, rave about it on your own social media channels, tell your family and friends, buy them a copy, all of those things. Help spread the word. That's just how this works best, okay? So this time we are talking about My Zombie Sweetheart by Christopher Robertson, one of my indie author friends. I'm very excited to bring it to you. Before I get into that, a couple of very quick plugs. If you want to skip these, just find the timestamp in the description below to get past them. But otherwise, 3 quick things to plug for you. And those things are my collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun, my range of Stephen King themed band shirts, and the fact that you can become a member of this channel. You can become a constant viewer and get exclusive content. Links to all of those are in the description. And hey, if nothing else, if you enjoy what you see here, click subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Okay then, Christopher Robertson, My Zombie Sweetheart. Now Christopher is one of the most unique voices in indie horror, as we will get into in this feature. And I've read a bunch of his stuff. This is, I think, his first book, and it's the most recent of his I've read. So it's the one I'm bringing to the book club, but I'm kind of going to mention a bunch of his other ones too. And frankly, you could pick any of his books and you will have a great time. So let's get into it, shall we? Ostensibly My Zombie Sweetheart, but kind of a quick run around the career so far of Christopher Robertson. Let's do this. Okay then, grab some popcorn, because here is your synopsis for My Zombie Sweetheart. Once upon a time, at a drive-in, terror from outer space comes crashing to Earth, giving rise to creatures of pure horror, the likes of which the quiet little town has never seen, and the nightmare that befalls 2 old friends as they struggle to survive against impossible odds. It's Friday night, date night, in the quiet little town of Woodvale. For Susie Palmer, this means hanging out at the all-night diner and maybe cruising up to Makeout Point with her sweetheart. Little does she know there's something on its way to Woodvale, something cruel and insidious, something out of this world. My Zombie Sweetheart is a love letter to 1950s sci-fi movies like The Blob and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's a tale of young love, drag racing, alien invaders, and heartbreak. And a bit about the author for you. So Christopher Robertson writes cinematic pulp fiction that's often described as both wholesome and gruesome, sometimes in the same sentence. He won both the Gold Award for Best Novel and Silver for Best Audiobook at the 2023 Godless 666 Awards. So there's your background. Let's get into my spoiler-free review of My Zombie Sweetheart. In fact, before I do my review, let's talk a bit about Christopher Robertson's writing style, because as I mentioned at the start, it is unique and I love it. So basically, he writes books that thinks they are movies. And I'm not saying he writes screenplays. He writes books that read like you're watching a movie. So he puts cuts between scenes in. We get really intricate details. We get all of the kind of things that, like I say, make it feel like a movie. We get title credits, we get end credits, we get post-credit sequences, we get flashbacks, we get needle drops, all of those kind of things. It's kind of difficult to articulate without you reading one, but it brings a whole new meaning to the phrase cinematic writing. Because often cinematic writing is like big, has scope, you can sort of see the potential for making something cinematic out of it. With this writing, like I say, it feels like you're watching a film, but not reading a screenplay. It's such an immersive way of writing. It keeps the energy up all the way through. And it's probably Christopher's biggest selling point. Like, this one that I'm talking about here is great. Cherry Falls, absolutely excellent. He's got a series of short story collections called the October Society, which is almost like a banned TV series. Also awesome. The Cotton Candy Massacre, which has won awards and is absolutely fantastic. I will probably cover that once I've got round the sequels as well, because there's a few of those now and I'm very excited to read them. But honestly, really good horror writing, really great energy, really human sense of humor, but just that unique style of writing. Just great. Really hooks you in, really draws you in, and I cannot recommend Christopher Robertson enough. So, with all that said, let's get on to a quick review of My Zombie Sweetheart, shall we? This is a really fun take on the zombie story. Like, I've sort of hit on a run among my indie author friends of them making me care about zombie stories. Like Jamie Stewart last year with The Court of Queen. And then, of course, A.B. Finlayson with Rock Zombie. And now this one. This is an older book. This is a few years old. But still, a zombie story where I cared about what was happening. That's good. That's really good writing. And this one really does feel like that 50s B movie that it is pitching itself to be. It's got the big monsters, the big invaders from outer space coming and ruining things, but it's also got loads of heart. It's got a cool dog. And of course, it's got loads of zombies. So, as I said, I've read a bunch of this author's writing, and this was my first time going back to the start, because having checked my notes, yes, this one is his first release. Now, his cinematic writing, as we've discussed, his cinematic writing has become more refined, and I think he's become more confident in his writing in general, but this is still a really impressive start. And if you're looking for somewhere to start with his writing, maybe go with this one, because there definitely is an upward trajectory. And this one is great, and it gives you a sense of what he was working out in terms of his style and where he might go with it. But honestly, I had a wonderful time with this. Really, really good. Really, really well-written story. Thoroughly engaging, and I just burned through it. So while I did enjoy the zombies and all the ensuing blood and guts and chaos, what really hooked me most in this was having a main character, or a main character family, who were black, in America in the late 1950s. Like, we get enough in the writing here to show that societal stuff was actually the real horror all along, not the zombies from outer space. But does it in a way without floating too far from the comic book B-movie craziness of it all. It all comes together, and you can see the point that is being made, but it's done in a way that just works brilliantly in the story. Like, it doesn't feel like it has an agenda. It's just there, hiding in plain sight, and set against the B-movie backdrop. It just really works. So, comparing this to a Stephen King story then, let's just say if Cell had been a short story in Skeleton Crew, it'd kind of be like this. Yeah, crazy, pulpy, silly vibes. You get it? So to sum up, this one, I had a great time. The characters were fun, the action was squelchy, and it was just a breezy, bloody read. And for this certified non-fan of zombie stuff, it was a compelling read. It felt original and fresh, particularly all the inner workings of the Horde. I really liked how that panned out. Bonus point for sure for making me care about a zombie story again. So this one has been out for years. Give it a try and then delve into the rest of his bibliography, because honestly, you will have a great time. Okay, there we go. Another episode of the book club done. What do you think of this one? Does it sound like something you might check out? Have you checked out some of Christopher Robertson's other works? Do let me know if you have. He's been building a name for himself over the last couple of years, and rightly so, because, as I said all along, he's I'm not going to say a very unique, because that is a bad phrase. He is a unique voice in indie horror, and I love what he's doing, and I can't wait to read more from him. So, there we go. My Zombie Sweetheart. Done. Firmly in the book club. Let me know what you think of that. Don't forget to go and read these books, review them, rave about them, all of those kind of things. Check out the links for all of my things in the description if you like. Don't forget to click subscribe as well. And hey, I'll see you again soon, either somewhere over there for some Stephen King stuff, or right back here next week for another pick in the book club. Bye bye.